second reign in India, the promising young men of the country have left the country because there is no future for the country. But there is no future for the country because the promising young men have left the country. So recently, one of my friends lost his birth certificate and his driver's license, and obviously he wanted to get duplicate copies of both of those. So he went to apply for his birth certificate, and over there they said that they needed his driver's license as ID proof. So on he went to apply for his driver's license, only to be told to submit his birth certificate. So throughout our lives, we come across several such incidents frequently. We just might not know about it. And it has been referred to by various phrases such as the vicious cycle, or damned if you do and damned if you don't, or heads I win, tails you lose, etc. But the shortest, sweetest and most catchiest of them is called a catch-22. Respected Toastmaster, Gavalier of the day, Gavaliers, and my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Now, let me tell you how the term catch-22 came into existence. So Joseph Heller, an American story writer, initially coined this term in his 1961 novel, which was also titled Catch-22. And this book described various incidents that took place in the army in World War II. So it stated a story of John Yossarian, who was a young protagonist who really wanted to get grounded from combat flight because he was just not ready to take up the challenge. So the term Catch-22 was actually introduced by the character Doc Danica when he explains that any pilot requesting to be examined for insanity is actually demonstrating their sanity by making the request, and therefore they cannot be declared insane. That is Catch-22. Now, Heller originally wanted to term this as Catch-18, but right before his book was published, another really famous novel, which was called Miller 18 by Lewis, was published. So, in due time, he and his publisher settled upon Catch-22, which was the perfect decision. Now, let me tell you some real-life examples of Catch-22 situations. First off, when you want to take a loan from a bank, and they say that you have to prove that you have enough collateral to repay the loan, like land or salary, etc. But the thing is, if you had that land or if you had that salary, you probably wouldn't have needed the loan in the first place. Another one is, when a person goes to a company in search of a job or in search of work, they say that they won't hire him because he has no work experience. And the thing is, if you don't have work, how do you get work experience? Another one is, when a person joins fresh to his job, he tries his maximum, his level best to show his dedication and hard work to his boss. So he would toil and toil while his colleagues would just take it easy. So as a result of that, he would continue to toil and toil because his boss gave him all of the hard and all of the most important works, while his colleagues would play solitaire on their laptops. Jokes apart, Catch-22 is a man-made phenomenon which is absolutely evil, and it ensures a win-win situation with the rulers and a lose-lose situations for the oppressed. And there are some instances in our life which, whether we like it or not, it occurs naturally. And the thing is, when our life takes a wrong turn, we lose our head, we lose our mind. And when we lose our mind, we make many more mistakes. And the more mistakes we make, the more miserable our life becomes. The same with us children, specifically students. Our parents continuously scold us and punish us because we didn't score well for the exam. But this makes us feel worse about ourselves and more miserable about ourselves. And we end up getting worse marks than before. This is why it is very important for us to keep a strong and stable mind whatever the conditions around us are. Because once your mind goes loose and a catch-22 sets in, it is almost impossible to get out of a catch-22 situation. So you might be wondering, so how do we get out of a catch-22 situation? Well, it's really simple. Just don't get into a catch-22 situation. Over to the gallery of the day.